Obama headed to court by Frank Lee for DailyVine.com. Things are about to heat up for former President Barack Obama. The brother of a slain Border Patrol agent has taken to Twitter to conjure the attention of President Donald Trump in an informal request to go after Obama for what happened while he was president. His name is Kent Terry, and he is requesting that President Trump reopen the case that could put Obama in some serious trouble. Enough to ruin his legacy for good, if that's what people consider it. Kent's brother, Brian Terry, was killed back in 2010 when an illegal immigrant wrecked a part of the Fast and Furious operation. This portion of the program is included what was called gun walking, and it found Brian Terry on the receiving end of a weapon that ultimately took his life. His brother Kent is not standing down. He requested that Trump open the books on Obama and solve the scandal that people have long awaited an answer for. President Trump has been somewhat transparent lately, so there's an excellent chance this could happen if Trump feels as though it's worth the effort. When it comes to the opinion of the Americans, then of course it's worth looking into, because someone who protected the American border was lost. Kent Terry is upset that he has no answers as to why his brother Brian, who spent 22 years protecting America's border, was lost. Kent and many Americans want the answers they've been searching for, and they're starting to demand them again. President Trump has not yet answered. Kent Terry, Fast and Furious, to Donald Trump, sir. It's been 7 years my family asked you to reopen Obama's gun scandal that cost my brother his life. I talked to you back on the campaign trail here in Michigan, and you offered to reopen the books into this senseless scandal. Thank you. God bless. Fox News Insider reported more on the situation with Barack Obama Operation Fast and Furious. Brian Terry was killed in 2010 by an illegal immigrant with a weapon used in the botched gun walking program Operation Fast and Furious. His brother Kent Terry tweeted at Trump on Saturday asking him to reopen the books and get to the bottom of the scandal that cost his brother his life. We need to find out the truth, exactly what happened, how it happened, why it happened. We need Mr. Trump, President Trump, to unseal the documents, reverse executive privilege so that we know what happened and that we can hold the people accountable that are responsible, Terry said on Fox and Friends Tuesday. He said people at the Bureau of Alcohol and Tobacco, Firearms and Explosives, ATF, and the Justice Department need to be held accountable for the government approval operation that allowed thousands of guns to pour into Mexico. Everybody's still actively working. Nobody's been punished. Maybe just a slap on the hand, and that's about it, Terry said. There needs to be justice for my brother. He deserves it. He spent 22 years serving his country as a law enforcement officer, a Marine, and that's what he deserves. He said he never believed President Obama's Attorney General Eric Holder when he said that those responsible for his brother's death will be held accountable, but he's hopeful that Trump will help his family get the answers they've been seeking. Kent Terry also mentions that he met Donald Trump while he was campaigning for president in 2016. It appears as though they spoke briefly about the incident with Kent's brother, and Trump seemed very empathetic and apologetic for what happened to Brian Terry. It was mentioned that Trump suggested that Jeff Sessions reopen the case to investigate further for answers and hold people accountable for their actions that led to the unfortunate passing of Border Patrol agent Brian Terry. Jason Chavez speaks about Brian Terry in a video below. Newsmax stated in 2014, Fast and Furious started as a way to capture drug dealers and violent Mexican drug cartels. It ended as part of a scandal involving the Barack Obama presidency that had to be wrapped up following unnecessary deaths. Gun buyers, many of whom the Fed suspected were criminals, were permitted to take firearms purchased in the U.S. and walk into Mexico without interference from agents. The intention was that once the guns were sold to powerful drug cartels, the ATF would later trace the firearms. Whistleblowers and investigators, however, found no attempt to trace the guns. What possibly happened is that the guns, which were supposed to be traced by the government, had ended up being used in other crimes that were not part of the operation. This turned the operation into something that possibly spiraled out of control and became a much bigger problem than expected. It resulted in a shootout with criminals and border agent Brian Terry, who was lost in the fight. Americans still want and demand answers and accountability, but will they ever get it? Very good question. And how can Trump be on top of everything when they're attacking him left and right? See, Trump would have pushed for all of this. But the thing is, they're driving him crazy with this Mueller investigation that, how can the man, how many things can the man possibly do? But I hope that Obama winds up going to court over this because he's very arrogant, And then they talk about gun control, right? Really? What a crock. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.